So recently, Keir Starmer decides to ban social media under the age of 16. And to be honest with you, that's a terrible idea, That's a very terrible idea because I remember that whenever I was young, I remember watching like Oni NG on YouTube. I remember watching stuff on YouTube itself that was like comedic and funny and all that kind of stuff. I remember like those kind of things. I was like 15 at the time, And the kind of thing I like about like YouTube before then was that they were like very funny, entertaining, kind of like comedy made by like Psychic Pebbles, Oni NG, and you go these like, YouTube creators like Thomas Scott and all those kind of like content creators out there that actually made these kind of like entertaining videos. So that kind of stuff I remember that watching, And honestly, that this is a bad idea that Keir Starmer has to like ban social media under the age of 16, because at the end of the day, the government shouldn't be parenting the children. The parents should be, not the government, because the parents have the right to, not the government, because it makes no sense, I'm an uncle, by the way, and I know how it's like when it comes to stuff like this. I'm not a dad, to be honest. I don't have a wife. I don't have any children myself. But I know how it's like when it's an uncle, so I hope that helps. And it's like this. Children who needs a social media monitored, needs to be like controlled by their parents only, I believe. I hope that helps, because at the end of the day, when the parents have access to what the children are doing online, the parents can actually discipline the children and become better like adults in the future, like better kind of like people out there. And honestly, when you're banning social media under 16, other children out there need access to contact their family members, Despite the fact that like what this government's doing, it makes no sense that they have to ban social media under 16, despite the fact that we already have these kind of like control protocols available on the iPhone and on the iPad as well to monitor what children are doing on their devices. So what's the point of the government getting involved in this kind of stuff? There's so many problems going on in this country. This isn't a problem at all. This is just ridiculous. It's happening in Australia. Children will bypass it, Children will bypass this and they will find a way through it because they're smart, right? They're really smart, they are. Honestly, they're really smart, intelligent children. They're really good at it. They know what they're doing, all right? And that is surprising, by the way, what they do, because when they have a bypass around it, that's good, by the way, and that's a surprise. And honestly, this government is so stupid. He doesn't know what he's doing, okay? I have this new iPhone update that I really hate so much. It is iOS 26.5, and this update pisses me off so much because I need a credit card to access my phone. Like, this is my phone. I'm 30 years old, okay? I shouldn't be accessing my phone with a credit card when it's my phone. And it's ridiculous. Like, how does this even help? How does a government gain control of this kind of stuff, even when so many things going on in this country that he fails to fix? How does this help? This stupid iPhone update doesn't even help at all. And the fact that children who basically are on social media, who need access to it to contact their family members, it doesn't make any sense, because these are kids, for crying out loud, Leave them alone. Let them grow up. Let them decide what they want in life. Okay? Let them decide what they want in life. Leave them alone. Okay? I never had a normal childhood. I never had a normal teenagehood. I want the best for them to grow up properly and have a normal life for themselves, so that they could be able to like have more time with their friends and family members and have a great time for themselves. That's what I want for the children. That's what I want for the teenagers, you know, because they have the right of freedom. And this government getting involved and basically just pushing out this garbage where he wants to ban social media under 16. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Let the parents decide, all right? The parents are responsible. Let them decide. Not the government. It doesn't help, all right? Honestly, my advice, let the parents decide what children want, okay? Because these are their children. Let them decide. Not the government. The government shouldn't be deciding for them. The parents should. And this stupid government who has to get involved and do this kind of stuff, it doesn't help. Let the parents decide what's best for the children. Okay, Keir Starmer? Fucking wanker.